I've been asked by a few people, how do I use the iPads in the classroom, and how do I manage them? First of all, I only use the apps, I only put the apps on the iPad that I actually want to use. So I have many more apps for each account, but essentially I delete them if I'm not using them. So even if I've bought them and I delete them, I can still bring them back through the cloud, and it doesn't cost you again to download it. So I only keep on there what I use, the main ones, plus any other ones that I might be using for a specific task. On my main screen I dump all the productivity apps that sort of come that you can't delete. If I hold that down, you'll see I can't delete all those. They're all ones from the system. So I dump those in there. Okay, so how do I lock these down so I can use them in the classroom? That's the question that I get asked. All right. So what I essentially do is I make sure that I've got everything that I want. It's the way I want it. And then I go into restrictions. Okay, so I enabled it in restrictions, and what I actually do is I turn Safari off, because we don't need the kids on the internet on an iPad. Or if you do, turn it on. YouTube's off, it's blocked for them anyway. Keep the camera on, because that restricts a couple of things they can do. FaceTime doesn't need to be on. All of those don't need to be on. You don't want them installing and deleting apps. Location, I actually have them all on, because I have the Find My iPad on. And then what I do there is I set the I can say allow changes, and I set what I want. I want the location services on. So that means if I lose my iPad, next time it goes onto a wireless, I can actually use my find my iPhone or Find My iPad and actually find out where it is, which is very good. But I keep that on. I don't want that on. I don't want the camera on, and location. And so all I do then is don't allow changes, so the kids can't change that no matter what, unless they put that password in that I'd put in before. The other one is accounts. Now I've set up a mail account, a dummy mail account that the kids can, any files they get, they can send straight through. They don't need to put in things, they don't need to put details in. You can email me or message me and I'll send you the file. It's by Stu Hasek at the Sydney Region ICT, and it's a wonderful file. Anyway, so in here what I do is once I've set up those, I say don't allow changes to mail. So you'll notice when I go into mail, I'll show you later, actually I'll show you now, they can't edit any of those. So any mail accounts I've set up, they can't get rid of. What else were we were in restrictions? Oh, password. Okay, somewhat to that. Explicit, that should be turned off. Not that they can access anything like that anyway through the portal. I just leave all that. I turn the in-app purchases off. That's like if they ask you to buy stuff within the application. This one's important. Make sure that that's on immediately, because it's a pain when you're actually maintaining it yourself. But if you hit it when you give it to the kids, what it means is that you, if you get out of the App Store, the next time you come straight into it, you need a password straight away. So you don't want it for 15 minutes in case you forget to put the password back on. Turn the multiplayer games, adding friends off, and you're pretty secure. So if I now just close out of that, okay, and then if say a kid's in there and they go, ooh, I want to change the restrictions, they can't because they need the passcode. So you've locked that part of it off. The only thing they can now really change is the desktop. They can move all these apps, which is a pain because I sort of set them up nicely so they're all the same, and but they can't delete or really do anything other than that. So they can change the desktop and they can move the apps around. So that's a pretty secure, I mean the most secure way you can handle a iPad in your classroom. And as I said, keep it simple. Don't put too many apps on there. Just pick the ones you want. Otherwise you've got to maintain them all the time, which is a real pain as well. And you really don't have time as a teacher to be maintaining these things all the time.